So the focus of this month's topic is on revenue streams that are not your core membership. And so we can, there's a little bit of flexibility in how we talk about that. Like, where do you draw the line? Does a punch card count? Does a drop-in count? But I want to get beyond those things where someone's actually taking a class, essentially, and talk about all the different ways to think, and we can get creative. And I do not have all the answers. I think that should be stated up front. But I have a lot of topics I want to throw out. And if everyone's like, let's talk about this for 10 minutes or more, whatever, versus like, man, not interested, let's not talk about it, that's fine. We can kind of control this group as we go. I would love to hear anyone's insight, things you've done that have worked. If it didn't work, and you're comfortable sharing your story, we would love to hear from that. I think the biggest benefit of these roundtables, and how I hope that they continue to grow, is for less hearing from me, more hearing from each other. So that's my goal. Danny, if you don't mind muting, because there's a little bit of like background noise, and that way, if anyone else chimes in, we won't be competing. Thank you so much. All right, so first things first, if everyone's comfortable, I was going to go around, and again, don't have to have your camera on, but I was just going to have you guys give a quick little update. Just say your name, your affiliate's name, how long you've owned it, and just where you're located. So I'm Katie, my affiliate is Megawatt CrossFit. I've owned it since 2017, and I am in Pleasanton, California. Zia, how about you go next?
My name is Zia. I am in Southern California. I own CrossFit Counterculture, and we are 14 years old.
Awesome. And then Danny.
Hi, I'm Danny from CrossFit 253 in Lakewood, Washington, and we've been open for 10 years.
Awesome. And then Ren.
Hey guys, I'm Ren from CrossFit Flixer. Sorry, I'm making lunch for my kids. CrossFit Flixer in San Diego, North County. We've been open almost 5 years. Is that all of it? Yeah.
Perfect. And me.
Cool. Thanks.
Hey, it's me. I'm outside, so I apologize if it's super noisy. CrossFit Mackay, and I think 9 months officially. And I'm in Ventura, California.
Awesome. Thank you. And Raquel.
Hi, I'm Raquel. I own CrossFit Reality. It's been a gym and CrossFit Reality since 2012. But my partner and I, we took it over almost 2 years ago, and we're in Southern California in the Long Beach area.
Very cool. And Will.
I'm Will. I'm from Valley CrossFit in the San Fernando Valley, LA area. The gym was started in 2005. I took over running it in 2016, and I bought it about a year ago.
Awesome. Will and I go way back to early Valley CrossFit days. Will and I know each other forever. All right. So from there, what I really would love to hear is sort of, and this will kind of give a little bit of context for each person, where you're coming in terms of adding revenue streams or improving upon the ones you already have, et cetera. So again, no stress if it's actually, you know what, to save, if you're like the last person I call, I will just put these in the chat so you can look at them. But essentially, what is something you're doing well with respect to revenue streams? And it's okay if you're like, literally all we have is membership. We are 100% membership, and we're doing fine. But just something positive that you're doing well. And then what is a challenge within this non-training revenue that you personally have, whether it's, you know, how do I get started, or we keep running into this kind of a hiccup. So I'll just throw these in the chat in case anyone goes blank. But when I call on you, I'm going to try to keep everyone to like 2 minutes max, just a quick little chat about where you're coming in at. And we'll just stick to that same order, but I'll call out names. So Zia, if you don't mind starting us off.
Okay, so something I'm doing well. I feel like I have a really good retail area. I sell a lot of products. So 5,000 to 8,000 is usually what I try to sell per month on products.
it's kind of guaranteed revenue because you get people on supplements and stuff, and they're always going to buy it from you. So that's something that I feel like I do really well. Also, I have a 24/7 open gym, which I know is kind of, people either love it or they hate it, but I have 45 people that I don't ever have to necessarily like touch, and they're just there. So those two things are my biggest, not monthly membership type of situation that I make money. And then what's challenging around non-training revenue? I would also say I struggle with building on that. I would guess I need to do more retail. I think I could do more. I think I could do better, but I'm having a hard time breaking that where I am now, growing it to the next level.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Danny.
Yeah.
What you're doing well and what you'd like, what's a challenge?
Okay, back off mute. I think we're doing well just on membership. We just moved our location. And so in February, right as the open started, we had actually moved to a new location after 10 years. So that we're doing well by keeping people with us. So we didn't lose anybody during that big transfer, big deal. And so we're just getting reestablished. Challenge is to reset. And what I would like to do is like get back up in our nutrition. And really, that's kind of what I wanted to see. Anybody's doing really well online sales, right? Online sales. It sounds like the previous person, she's got a nice rotation of income generated, but I'm wondering if some of that is like coming offline. So there you go.
So you're thinking nutrition and then online sale.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And Ren, I'll have you go next.
Yeah. In terms of like additional revenue streams, I second what Zia said. But we did a competition. It's a lot of work up front, but the competition is a great source of profit. So doing competitions is a great revenue generator for us. And I would say and then we do a lot of remote programming, so like supplemental accessory programming to classes for specific goals, which has been good. What I would say is the most challenging around non-training revenue, same thing, like, well, in terms, the people who are on supplements continue to buy supplements, but it's hard to get new people to see the reason why supplements are good for them. So, yeah, we do quarterly tastings now, which is starting to help a lot, though.
Good idea. Love that. Okay, thank you. Me.
So I'm mostly here to kind of listen and learn. I'm such a baby gym. I don't even have a physical space yet. But yeah, as far as monthly memberships go, it's all personal training. Have a few punch cards, and I've actually been doing a lot of nutrition coaching. I want to do things like retail sales and all that, but it's hard because I'm basically out of my home. And so if I buy a bunch of inventory, like where do I store it and all that stuff? So yeah, I'm here to kind of like learn as much as I can from all you seasoned vets out there.
You're going to be making plans. That's what you're going to be doing on this call.
Yes.
Awesome. Raquel.
Yeah, I'm newer to the CrossFit owning world, so definitely looking for any advice and tips. We do have a really nice, I think, like retail center that we built. It just is kind of lackluster though, so I think I'd like to know a little bit more about like the supplements. We do sell like protein from Ascent, and have like a fridge stocked with drinks. So in that aspect, we have the space for it. I just think like I could do better with like supplemental sales, and then also how to incorporate nutrition a little bit more. I'm getting my precision nutrition level 1 right now. We're going through the process, so I'm hoping to get that up and running once I finish as well.
Good for you. That's a beast, isn't it? That precision nutrition.
Yeah, a little bit. So it's time consuming as well, and on top of everything else.
Started that during COVID, pre having a baby, and I have yet to pick it back up again, but I'm going to get it. This is my year. All right. Thank you. And Will, last one.
When I took over running the gym in 2016, we kind of had a shirt. We had a whole retail area, shirts and supplements, and I kind of piggybacked on what was already established. Since then, since I have not been able to, like, I was not at the time able to dedicate, because I was brand new to running a gym. So I was already overwhelmed by the membership and on things like that. I kind of let it go to the wayside, and we've tried off and on over the past few years trying to bring it back to varying levels of success. We're definitely dipping our toes back in the water right now. Every couple months we'll put out a new shirt, or every 3 months we'll put out a new shirt. We carry Ascent protein and pre-workout, and we did the recovery water for a while, but we don't carry that anymore. But it's not a huge advertisement. We are starting to do like quarterly events, challenges, competitions, but on a much smaller scale. So like, for example, in a month, less than a month, a couple of weeks from now, we're doing like an in-house Oli meet with 30 lifters. It's unofficial, but there is like an entry cost and prizes and food trucks and things like that. So I'm dipping my toes back in the water. 5 to 8K from Zia though. Holy smokes.
I know. Zia,
what are you doing?
My like ace in the hole whenever we have these calls. I'm like,
yeah, I'm onto that. Yeah, I'm onto that now. I also was coaching an insane amount of time because over the past few years, as most people probably dealt with, we didn't have an abundance of coaches willing to step up and things like that. So I was coaching like 20 to 30 hours a week for like a year and a half. So I didn't really have time for much else. So now that we've got staff coming back in and people coming up from the ranks, I have more time to dedicate to some of that stuff. I'm still working through the affiliate playbook though.
Yeah, no, it's chock full of stuff. It's all about like, when do I possibly have time to dig through this? So if anyone can ever dedicate some time at the end of the day to 30 minutes, an hour to reading through, you'll definitely get some help. And honestly, if anything, it almost point you towards what questions you still have. And then from there, I can always be a resource to point you to someone else. I can't always answer your next question, but these are the kind of things where if you guys know you need more information, you need 2-3 levels more than what the playbook would say. And the starter kit for that matter as well. If you guys haven't got a chance, everyone has, as affiliate owners, you all have access to the starter kit. It's a $500 payment for a new affiliate that goes towards their affiliation, but all of you already have it. And it's another layer deeper as well, diving into those things. So, but if you're ever like, I want more, ask me and I will find the people that have more, or I will create a call where we talk about it. And I get some of our more experienced, longer tenured affiliate owners, top earning affiliate owners, and get them to share all their secrets, because they're all amazing and want to help. And so I've only seen positives from that so far. So don't ever be shy about that, guys. If you don't get enough out of this call and you're like, Katie, you didn't cover this, we didn't answer that, let's get into it more. Well, I appreciate you guys all on that.
Can I say one more thing? I don't remember if it was me or Raquel. If you don't want a lot of, this shirts, but supplements also, you could do like pre-orders. You could do direct to print through Printful for shirts. So that way you don't get stuck with a mountain of stuff that either sits around and never sells or takes forever to sell. Just a side thought.
Exactly. Yep. All right, great. So essentially what I did was, as many of you probably already have in the front of your mind, is I made like a long list of different topics that fall into this category. And I really just want to take a pause at each one, and we can choose to dive in or kind of pass if no one wants to talk about it. If someone's like, well, yeah, this is what I'm good at, I'd love to hear why you're so good at it. And some of us can take notes, and whether or not we apply it tomorrow or not, we've learned from it. And then we can move on to the next one. I'll kind of start with something that not everyone chooses to do, which is charging for like an on-ramp program. And I realize this is a very like gym specific. Some people are like all in. Yes, it is. We make a lot of money this way. And others are like, no, it's not our style. We'll probably never do it. I think there's benefits to both sides, of course. If you don't have that on-ramp charge, there's a lower barrier for entry. But then again, with that lower barrier for entry, what you potentially have got yourself is a customer that's only wants to pay the bare minimum. So just be aware of how that is going to set yourself up. If you're like, no, this is, we're coming at this from a holistic approach. In the on-ramp, we're going to teach you about our culture. We're going to get you feeling comfortable with the coaches and how we talk at the whiteboard. We're going to, of course, teach you the fundamentals and the movements. And you're going to learn about your own body, where some of your limitations are, basically holding their hand through that process so that once they're into classes, they're not only excited and feel a part of the community, but they also feel prepared for what's coming. Any takes on on-ramp? Thumbs up, thumbs down? You have opinions? I'll kind of go around the horn again, and then you can always just be like, pass, we don't do it if you don't want to talk about it. Overall, throughout this chat, I have no problem with people being like, I disagree. You're always able to voice that, but just be aware that everyone can find success in different methods. And even if it doesn't work for you, so just being respectful of someone else's process. And you're always able to share your input rather than sort of lecture someone else on how they're doing it wrong, etc. We're going to stay away from that kind of language and more so just phrase it at, well, at our gym, we do this, etc. So Zia, any takes on on-ramp or a pass?
We definitely do on-ramp, and we charge $250 for the first month, and that includes on-ramp. So regardless if you're getting the unlimited membership, which we charge $225, or the 12 times a month membership, whatever you choose, the first month is $225. So it's just slightly more. And we've found for us, our demographic is very unique, I would say. I am in a tourist town right by the beach. People who live in this city are very wealthy, so money doesn't really drive them in either direction. Like, they're not going to join because it's a deal, and they're not going to not join because it's too expensive. So that was kind of like the happy medium over the years. And I just had a conversation with Craig about this from Diablo. Like, I go back and forth on how I want to do elements. I feel like every couple of years, and it always just kind of lands back to this. And that's just what we've always done. And
Craig does like a no sweat intro, like they charge for
right.
that thing.
We do that too. We actually talked about how him and I do it exactly the same, unknowingly.
Yeah. And some people, that doesn't work for them. They want to give them a taste of something on day one. And so, whereas for him, that's a nice little filter for them to get people acclimated. Awesome.
Yeah, we're running out of space. So we're running out of space. So do it my way or go somewhere else. Like, I just don't have, like, yeah, if you don't want to do this 15-minute tour with us, CrossFitter or not, I can't help you. I think part of it.
I think that builds on, and that creates to me a mutual respect. I respect you enough because I want you to know what we're doing here, but I also need you to understand that, like, we do things a certain way. It's not, at our old gym.
Yeah.
Well, here,
right. It sets a precedent because
if you don't want to be a part of this culture, that is completely your choice, and best of luck. And I'll see you at the local throwdown. But maybe you can filter out some of the personalities that aren't going to be a long-term fit with that kind of thing. Danny, takes on on-ramp. I know you had a thumbs up emoji going.
Yeah, we do the on-ramp as well. We charge more than Zia. I'd say we're kind of in a middle income, but by a base, and we charge $320, and that really covers 5 sessions, and then they get the rest of the month unlimited. The whole premise of that was really kind of like get the acclimation, so they get to meet one of us and one of our coaches to kind of go through that process. And while I'm sitting here talking, I'm like, oh gosh, you know what we need to add? We don't talk about the supplements and stuff during that process. Right. I'm like,
nutrition, duh. Personal training, supplements. Yeah, you might find a fit for personal training right there. What can I ask? What your monthly, your monthly is outside of the on-ramp?
150, 175, and then 199 unlimited.
Okay, so that's like 129 compared to 320. Just kind of, I think it's nice for people to kind of hear the ranges there. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Ren, your take on on-ramp?
Yeah. Danny, what gym did you say you're from?
Me, Danny?
Yeah.
Lakewood. I'm in Lakewood, Washington, just south of Seattle and Tacoma.
Okay, cool. We have some of the similar structures, so I'm like, oh, I wonder if we worked with the same individuals. But yeah, so yeah, we do an on-ramp as well. We charge $349, so the most so far, and that's going to include 3 one-on-one personal training sessions, so they can develop a personal relationship with a coach.
Yeah.
And we're actually in the process of changing it right now, where it used to be like we're going over the 9 fundamental movements. It's more about getting them acclimated to our community and letting them know about the services that we offer. So it's we have a few workouts that will expose, like if they have aerobic capacity, endurance, and then how their technical movements are, things of that. But then we're also going to talk about like our methodology. We talk about nutrition, and we give them kind of like a starter course to nutrition. Talk about recovery. With their own supplements, all that stuff. So we try to educate them to all of the different things that are beneficial in health. So yeah, what we have found is that when we do it that way, our retention's a lot higher. And there's actually something that we're switching to, where the coach will take their first class with them, because we have found that there can be fall off from foundations to class. So by doing that, we're hoping that'll kind of bridge that gap a bit.
I love that. That's a great tip to keep in mind. I know it's hard to feel like staffing can be tight and you're like, oh gosh, I have to have a class coach and then I have to have someone holding someone's hand, but you may be so much better off if you do, right? So I think that's a good thing to note. What are your guys like unlimited monthly charge, just respective to the $349?
Yeah, same as Danny, actually. It's based on length of agreement. So $175 to $199. And then just you were talking about like a coach wanting or not wanting to take that class. We pay our coaches pretty well.
Yeah,
so not just for class, but for foundations, they're getting about double.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you pay them. It's more of like the owner being like, oh God, I'm paying for the coach and then the other coach that's right. But you're like, yeah, but you're investing and this person is going to stay with you, right? Is my perspective on it. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get them to stay, then that's several thousands of dollars versus an hourly fee. Yeah,
really cool. Me, what's your take on on-ramp? I know you're probably doing similar to me, like kind of got smaller groups and just still getting started. So I don't know if you've set something like that up.
Yeah, exactly that. But I mean, just from my past experience coaching at the previous gym, we were doing on-ramps and it was 6 sessions and they were charging $379. And I kind of liked that whole structure and the way that we did it. So I was going to carry that over to when I actually have, a gym and I have more members, that it would be somewhere around that same price point, around like $399. And then the monthly membership would actually be kind of sitting somewhere around $269 to $279 a month for unlimited.
Love it.
So yeah,
I'm all about charging a lot of money. So thumbs up. Raquel, did you have anything you wanted to chime in about with on-ramp?
No, initially when we took over the gym, it was right after COVID, and the gym was closed for almost 2 years. So I was primarily the only coach and remodeling and all that stuff. So that was the goal, to do an on-ramp, but I didn't have the time because I had my hands tied up with everything else. So currently we still don't do an on-ramp. We have some more coaches and I'm looking to hopefully hire some more people. So hopefully once we've got some more spaces filled and I'm not coaching as many classes, I would like to reintroduce an on-ramp class. We just have kind of made it the approach as like you get to meet like our community and kind of get a feel for the gym. But I definitely, especially after hearing everyone like hear the value of an on-ramp. So hopefully that's something we can incorporate later on.
Absolutely. And then Will, if you have anything to add.
I do, and then I have some questions. We are literally about to kick off our on-ramp. One of the reasons why I was excited about this topic was because I'm kind of playing with some different ideas with what we're going to do. It sounds like I'm going to fall somewhere around, I think Danny said, a few sessions with one-on-one with a coach, and the rest of that month unlimited, something like that. And I think they're very valuable. The only negative experience I've had in the past is something that I think Ren may have brought up, or something where the jump from foundations to classes, you'll lose some people unless it's already included in the membership or something like that. Like back in the day when I took over the gym, they were running a lot of 6-week challenges, and taking those people who already were paying a significantly smaller amount of money than our general members, and then trying to take them from something that they thought was completely different and separate to, you know, it made it really, really hard. So we A, stopped that pretty quickly, and B, it's not necessarily just about teaching the people the movements, it's right, teaching them kind of how we do things, which is kind of like how everyone else was kind of describing. That's almost more important than that. So I did have a question for me. Did you mention that you said you're going to put your monthly dues at $269 to $279 a month?
That is correct.
Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
criticizing. I was just curious. I wanted to make sure I understood. So yours is $399 for 6 on-ramp sessions, relative to $279. Okay, and then Zia and Danny. Oh, Zia, what does your on-ramp look like?
I have 3 one-on-one classes with the coach, and then a 4th where the coach, just like Ren, takes a class with the member. And then the beginning of each class, you know, the day one we have Wodify. So day one, we go over Wodify, make sure they've downloaded their app and that they know how to be in touch with the community. And then on the last day, we go over supplements and nutrition so that we can hopefully get them on a nutrition protocol or supplement protocol right out of Elements.
Ah, very smart. And then you said 3 + 1, and then do they finish up that first month as unlimited?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
Cool. I like that.
Yeah,
Cool.
letting them come as much as they want, and then the membership will automatically keep going at whichever membership they originally chose.
Sweet.
So whether that be unlimited or and that's the thing, is it will automatically keep going. I don't have to resell them again.
Resell. Yeah, once you sign someone up, don't resell. So whether that rolls them into their unlimited, their punch card, their whatever you're doing, make sure that that is just part of it in how you pitch it, so they understand this is where they're headed. Unless there's some specialty case where this might be one-on-ones is what they want. We're going to do an on-ramp, and then we're going to roll that into personal sessions, and that's this track, right? Like you can hear them out, and if that's the better fit, then great. Make sure that that's the track you're putting on, but don't at the end of the on-ramp be like, let's sign you up for personal training. Like that should have already been done at the onset. So have those plans like pre-set out and explain how they go, and that you've got these personal trainers to offer them. And I think I love the idea of taking the class with them, because you're literally ramping them into it. Like it's like, it couldn't be even any more of a good analogy with that verbiage. If there are any more questions pop up, let me know, but I don't want to spend too much time on any one thing. So going off of all the things you guys talked about challenge-wise, things I definitely want to make sure we hit are nutrition, retail, and then possibly like the competitions and challenges. Overall, and I'll throw this all in an email, keeping in mind things like personal training, what's the split that you keep versus for the trainer? I mean, if you haven't lived the life of a personal trainer, you've got to make sure that they're being taken care of for their amount of work that they're putting in. Considering specialty programs, that's another way to bring in revenue for the gym. Make your members get excited about whatever interests them, Oli, gymnastics, whatever, run club, but also, so it brings in revenue for you. It makes your trainers have a little bit more that they could take home. Just considering, and this nutrition is included in this, consider the cost of potentially the education necessary to take those programs on. Do you have to send your trainer to an Olympic lifting seminar, certification, nutrition course, et cetera? And then beyond that, again, what's the split? How much are you keeping? How much are others keeping? So if anyone has those questions throughout, we can touch on that. If anyone has experience doing those things. I know others mentioned online programming, additional accessory programming. Those are all great ways to keep making money through training, but not in the traditional membership way. So just kind of piggybacking on that, I was going to let us dive a little bit into nutrition. And if someone is like, quick left turn, I want to hear a little bit more about specialty program, et cetera. I think those are close enough that we can also ask those questions. But I guess the question with nutrition is like, do you offer it? Maybe what do you charge? Is that like a monthly flat fee? Like what I do is I just do a monthly add-on for my nutrition clients. So if you have it a little bit more like, oh, it's personal sessions and you meet this many times and you purchase it in that package kind of way. But I would love to hear anyone's take on that. So Zia, nutrition, what's your guys' take?
We do offer a nutrition program. I have a specific coach that has a master's degree in exercise science. So he does our nutrition, and I charge $100 a month for it. And then when I do, I guess, specials or Instagram ads, I don't do like discounts on my memberships, but I'll throw in like a free nutrition assessment or with an InBody and things like that. So I'll often offer like a free InBody when you sign up for the membership, because then it'll encourage them to want to buy more InBodies and see how they're progressing and things like that. So
what do you charge for your InBody scan?
$30. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. And then are you comfortable talking about the split for your nutrition coach versus for the house with your $100 a month?
Yes. So I charge, so for personal training, 70-30, 70 for the coach, 30 for me. And I do the same for the nutrition.
Very cool. Danny, any takes on nutrition or questions?
Okay, I got it. Here we go. Okay, I had a question for Zia because my wife walked in. I'm like, dude, she's killing it. And I was like, I miss out on the discussion really on supplements during our on-ramp, because I'm like, God dang, like really, we've talked about this. That was really our entree again into personal training or anything like that, because the people get actually that one-on-one time. It's probably the easiest segue and going, hey, you know what? We can prescribe that. They can see what the unlimited membership, like they can get there multiple times. But then I'm like, duh, I really don't talk about nutrition. I mean, in those pieces are the supplements. But signing up for this, I was kind of wondering if anybody is doing like these supplement sales or like, I think there's Thorne or CBDMD. Anybody doing any of those sales online? So that's not just out of you having to do it, but like kind of like, hey, hit the website, and they constantly
like
do
Thorne
that.
has like the shop set up, right? And
Thorne
CrossFit
does have like shop set
CrossFit's
up.
partnering with a new supplement product, and we have a call with them coming up. And that's my first question is, do you guys have an online store? Because not everyone wants to stock product. I heard a couple people said they use Ascent protein. Did they have an online store, or is that in, you keep it in? Okay. I don't know who else does anymore. Like we don't have a pro shop in the garage, but I'm kind of thinking I should add one. It'd be super fun.
To be honest, it doesn't need to be big, and we can negotiate really small order minimums. I know like Thorne does have the online store. I have it, but 99% of everything I sell Thorne, I stock.
Yeah,
I built that up
on site.
Yeah, they want to grab it. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I have the online store, and it's like the here and there people want weird things, they'll do it. But I mean, I stock it. I stock 10 different things from Thorne. That's built over time and my diligence of like sampling and talking about it. And, you know, we have a welcome packet, and in my welcome packet is like a free sample, or it's like a, you know, the single serve packets of SFH protein. We have a Bubs one, and then it has like, where do you park, what we're about, how to use Wodify, but then it's a page on nutrition talking about, you know, what supplements we support and why it's important to take this or that. And it's in there for them to talk about. And it's in their face. I make the vendors come out and sample. That's not my job. I'm an affiliate owner. You want me to sell your stuff, you come here and sample it. SFH comes out once a month. Ascent comes out. I have Bubs comes out. Like all my companies, they sample it. If you want to sell it, you come sample it. That's not my job. And they'll come do it
throughout the day,
free.
or just at night, or like
they'll stay for a whole day.
Okay.
Usually
get all the
for a day.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's how, yeah. And so I do sell mostly in house.
But you also have the online store. And
I have the Thorne inline store, but I probably sell like $100 a month in that.
Yeah. Okay. That's great to know. Let's see, Danny, did you have another question? Did you get cut off? I knew you were asking Zia one. You're good.
I think that was the question.
And then
Zia, sorry, do you just reach out to the companies and be like, hey, like I sell your products? Do you have like a local rep that can come do like samples for us, or how do you go about setting that up?
Yeah, they all have local reps. We have a Fit Aid rep that's super local, and he comes out and samples. At most of your Thorn doesn't, but that's like a really big company. But other than that, all of my companies will come and sample for sure.
Well,
and you just
thank you.
call
That's
them
a really good idea.
And being smaller and wanting to start it, you can negotiate like their order quantities a lot of times too. Like, hey, I'm just starting. Like me, you don't have your location yet. You're working. I can't meet your order minimum. Like your rep will be able to waive that.
Yeah. Like me, you put an ice chest in the back of your car and you can just keep stock a little bit in your trailer.
Yeah, like SFH has a really high order minimum, but they have a great product. Like, I'm a baby affiliate and I will sell you and I will rep it, but I can't buy $5,000 at once. And your rep can override that and just ask. And
you guys, Zia has so many tricks about negotiating on so many different things. And that's what I spent over an hour talking about. And I have not posted to YouTube, but I will post. I'll try to post it this week. And the sound quality is not the best because we also had Paul on the call and he was in the car. So just bear with it. And it's so worth it. The amount of ways that she works the system and gets cheaper rates on everything from credit card transactions to like probably your internet and stereo, all of it. So just like, you guys got to listen to that one on cutting costs. Ren, did you have anything to add on nutrition or questions on? I know you were talked a little bit less about that, more about the products as sort of your focus, but.
I mean, we do nutrition as well. We charge a little bit more though. We do like 3-month commitment. It's $199 a month. They do like one-on-one, or they have like 4 weekly meetings with the nutritionist. We got 2 nutritionists on staff. And then we usually try to incorporate it like with the membership. So that's like with our on-ramp, we try to talk about that. And then, I mean, similar stuff, like another thing to add to Zia in terms of like supplements. Anytime let's say they can't come out and you do want to do a tasting for whatever reason, they'll give you free product to sample. So anytime we do a sampling, I email my reps and they send us free stuff. So we've got a partnership with Bubs as well. I actually just did a ruck marathon with them. And so they sent us a bunch. We're doing one for their hydrate or die. So we're doing a big tasting next 2 weeks for that.
Yeah, get out there and start calling these companies, you guys, and like make them fight for you. I mean, like even it could be proteins, get all the different proteins, like book one every couple of weeks if you can. And like Ren makes a good point. If they can't send someone physically there, they'll send you the products and maybe you can pay a trainer to shake shaker bottles for, an hour after their class or whatever, however it works best. You can even ask the company, like, well, how do you best recommend we do this? And they're like, you should start doing it toward the end of the class so that they're cold and they're ready when they come over or whatever it is. But I mean, whether it's protein, electrolytes, there's tons of different little mini single serving electrolyte packets now. Bubs does collagen. Do they also do electrolytes?
They just released electrolytes.
They just started.
Yeah. I know LMNT is huge right now. They'll send you a ton of samples.
I sell so much LMNT.
And I just found out, do you guys buy LMNT wholesale?
Yeah.
They have a ridiculous, like practically half price LMNT if you apply for their wholesale program. And they also have a really cool like wooden display thing. I just saw a picture of that. Do you guys have that?
Yeah.
It's like Florida.
I sell so much Element. Oh, people, it is so trendy right now. You don't
even
need to sample that.
It's all the elements.
Because all of the CrossFit athletes, like that day that Tia posted a video with her partnership, I sold because I sell by the case and singly. The day she posted that video, I sold like 6 cases. And I was just like, I didn't even have to do anything. Tia just posted it.
I love those, but also not everyone is into like the salt flavor. So like shop it around. There's a lot of different ones that will send samples. When we used to run powerlifting meets, we would get it sponsored by Noon. And they would send us giant like cases of the powder and we would pour it into like Gatorade things. So people would be tasting Noon all day and then, maybe interested in buying. So there's lots of different ways you can get this stuff in the gym, get people excited. And that to me is an easy one to hook them on. Now people buy like boxes of LMNT at a gym, not just the packet. So
yeah, I sell the cases and the sticks.
So really good, something to think about. I don't know the splits on any of these things. That's why I'm coming to you guys. So.
Elements 50, so you get it half off. And when you sign up your wholesale account, they give you 6 free boxes and that wooden thing. So
I want to do it for my house because we just drink a lot of that.
you should.
Between the kids' sports and
I do that with Beam.
I'm like, that
I
feels
don't
good
sell
in the
any
living
Beam
room.
money.
That could be in the dining
yeah.
room corner. So when you sell a single packet, what do you charge?
$3.25.
$3.25 for one little packet. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that $1? Like, what would that be?
$3.25. I mean,
$6 for a roll of tape, which I'm like,
There we go. 5 to 8K a month. There it is.
right?
yeah.
What do you sell for the box then?
Yeah, what's the box?
So I sell that $43.
Which is just under Amazon pricing. So she's like,
it's $1 under Amazon.
Yeah, that's like,
but the sticks, you get those anywhere from $2.50 to $4. If you go to Lazy Acres, they're $4.25. So I'm kind of in the middle there, and it's that convenience
right
factor.
Yeah, and that's why you also have to sell water bottles, right? Because that's what they're going to drop it in.
I sell.
Yep.
And I sell those for $4.
Yeah, just like a bottle of water, because not everyone wants to put that in their bottle they brought or whatever. Okay, cool. I don't want to. What do you guys want to? Do you guys want to dive more into like pro shop stuff now, and less on nutrition and more about like supplements,
like
shirts? What do you? Is that say yes? Did you say yes?
Sounds like it.
Okay, cool. So, in terms of like your pro shop, pre-made drinks like your Fit Aids, or even like Jocko has like a pre-made protein thing, and Fairlife has a really popular one that a lot of people drink, or Core Protein, whatever. Bars or other snacks, protein powders, we talked about that. So not the pre-made ones, but ones that someone's got to have a shaker bottle. And then follow up, do you guys also sell shaker bottles? That's something I'm curious about. What about aside from apparel, what about all the other things? I know Zia sells like rolls of tape for your hands. There's tape, there's things like rock tape or KT tape. There's belts. I don't know if someone actually sells belts at their place. Chalk. Would you really sell chalk, or do you just have it for the members to use? You know what I mean? Like, these are things that you can get on for all sorts of different, we have some in the APN, but you guys can find them elsewhere and get good margins on them. So I'm just curious. So let's talk apparel separately. But outside of apparel, what are you guys selling? What do you want to sell? What brands have good margins, etc.? Zia, do you want to start first? Or I feel like everyone wants to.
I sell tape. I sell the stretchy like lifting tape and the regular tape. I buy it for $2 a roll. I sell it for $6. And that's just honestly
no, it's convenience
factor, but also I feel like that item I have the highest like inventory issues, so I add a little bit more for that. I sell like Ascent protein water, which is actually, it sells really well as long as Ascent's coming out and doing a lot of the sampling. I feel like that's one that I like, no one's gonna pick it up unless they're like tasting it first.
They're not doing it anymore. Just give you a heads up. They discontinued.
Oh, bummer. Then I'll probably discontinue it because I don't sell Ascent protein powder anymore either.
Okay.
SFH is back up and going, and so I switched back to SFH and Thorn. I sell Bitchin' Sauce, which is I don't know if everyone has that. Their wholesale program is amazing. It's actually you get a 50% off. So I do like that.
The dip?
I sell
the Bitchin' Sauce dip. Oh, that stuff's incredible.
So I started ordering it for myself because I go through so much of it and I didn't want to pay full price. So I opened up a wholesale account, and then I started selling it at the gym, and then just being like, well, I'll just take it all home. And I actually sell a lot of it.
What do you charge?
I charge $6.50 for it, and I get it for $3.50, I think. So I do sell it for less than you can get it in the store because I love it so much. And that's one item that I sell just for me. Nice. I sell mush. The owners of that company were members of my gym till they moved their distribution to Chicago. So I sell mush. I sell Yeti water bottles. I sell.
Are they branded? Branded Yeti bottles? Nice.
Yeah. I sell Kill Cliff Fit Aid. I sell Topo Chico.
That's awesome. Where do you get that from? Just Costco?
No, the Coca-Cola vendor, which is where I get my water from. And I might switch to Mountain Spring Valley because of the PFAs that are in Topo Chico. I didn't realize it was so bad for you. And I pay really close attention to ingredients. Like I will not sell things that I personally don't, stand by. So I'm going to switch to the mountain spring water and regular waters, because the Coca-Cola water, the smart water, is actually really expensive. That's why I have to charge $4 for it.
Yeah.
So I am going to switch out of that. And then I sell Perfect bars.
I would say bars. You do bars. Okay, cool. Or do you
Perfect bars? Yeah.
Do they have a wholesale program that you do as well? Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. We already talked about how you do supplements. Mostly
Thorn
versus online.
Thorn and SFH, Bubs, obviously, they're members of my gym. So
before I go to the next person, I'm actually curious how you do point of sale. Do you guys have an iPad? Do you have, codes? What do you guys do?
We have an iPad and we have Wodify. So there's point of sale apps that all the coaches can have on their phone. I used to do sign up sheets, but too often I would wait too long to do it. And I'd be like, oh, that person's not a member anymore. Oh. So because I have such low credit card fees, I don't care about running, here and there. So we have a point of sale. They can go up on do it themselves, or the coaches have apps on their phones, which is really, the app on the phone is great.
Awesome. Love that. All right. Danny, anything you have questions or comments about anything in the retail space outside of clothing? And then we could wrap it up with clothing or any other questions people have. All good. Ren, did you want to add anything or chime in on how you guys do things differently or questions?
Yeah. A couple of things we carry too that have been cool are like wrist wraps that are branded. We carry swim caps because we have a pretty large amount of people who go swimming. We could do like weekly swim-ons. We do patches too. Like we push patches during Murph because a lot of people with their vests.
You guys have athletic brewing, which I thought was so cool.
Oh yeah, we carry athletic brewing as well. Yeah, thank you. Zia and I are neighbors. So Zia, big props to her. She supported our competition and had almost 50% of team registration at our comp that we had last weekend. So
awesome. Yeah, she was
cool.
Very highly of your competition. Okay, so wait,
awesome.
What's athletic brewing? What's going on?
Non-alcohol beer. It's amazing. I love a good michelada. So, I'll tell you, I want to put a beer in this non-alcohol beer because it tastes like V8 juice. But overall, they're pretty good. Like, I hung out at the pool and cracked open a non-alcohol IPA last night. It does it for me during the week and on the weekends when I'm trying not to drink. But yeah, it's great. Super good margins if you're selling it by the can. If you sell it by the case, it's not. So I have a bunch in stock, so people want to buy it from the case. I'm like, whatever, that's fine. But otherwise, like, I think I want to get like 45. I get 45% profit margin probably on the athletic brewing, and it's super fun. Anytime you have like Murph, everyone wants to crack open a beer, so like I'll come out with a bunch of non-alcohol beers and pass them out to people to try to get them to start drinking that.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's something that we do. Like Zia, we give everyone a welcome package too during their on-ramp. So it has like a couple of our supplements. So like little trial sizes, we'll throw in like a Fit Aid, we'll throw in like an athletic brewing company drink just so that they can try those. And that the cost for that is built into their on-ramp. So, and then the one thing that we do differently, we have like a Venmo QR code works amazing. I don't do anything. There's just a QR code, someone buys something, price list is there, they scan it, pay me on Venmo, done.
Okay.
So I like doing that.
Awesome. I'm loving the welcome packet too. I totally want to steal that if and when I ever create a bigger gym. I like that is amazing. And it sounds so simple and obvious. And yet I never got one whenever I went to a gym. Me or Raquel, I know you probably don't have a pro shop right now, but do you have any questions you wanted to ask about this kind of thing?
I did, because I know Ren mentioned that they use Ascent recovery water. That does pretty well. And I know people sometimes don't like the powdered protein after. So did anyone have any other alternatives that they've been using for like that protein recovery drink? I'm kind of on the hunt and I haven't really found one that I want just yet. So
I know Built bars. I don't know if you guys like those or not. They are coming out with a protein chocolate melt that tastes amazing. So that's something that'll be released soon that you can look into. That's about it.
the Jocko
Okay.
Malk, which was a comical name to me that they called it MALK, but I tasted it at semifinals, and it could have been because I was super stressed, but I really enjoyed it. Like I was underfed and overworked, and I was like, this is amazing. So try them first, but I only got to try the vanilla, and I'm definitely more of a chocolate person, and I actually really enjoyed the vanilla one. It tasted like liquefied vanilla pudding to me. So those are a new, I think they're being added to the APN soon. I know they were all over semifinals, so you couldn't get away from Jocko Malk.
Okay.
I think it's a dumb
Koi
name.
is another good one.
Which one?
Koi, Koya, if they make like smoothies and stuff, but they also do protein smoothies as well. They have a coffee cold brew one that sells really good, and a horchata one that I go through like 10 cases a month. They're really good. They have a shelf life though. It's like 3 months. So you just kind of have to be aware of what you're selling, but those are delicious. They're vegan though. They're my vegan option.
Interesting.
Cool. Thank you.
See, what was that again? The name of that product?
Koya. I'm going to get the spelling for you because I don't even know if that's how you say it. It is Koia.
Awesome. Anyone else? Will, did you have any other questions about like supplements and products that were outside of apparel?
No questions. Love it. We just moved also less than a year ago from a whopping 15,000 square feet to a measly, well, technically the CrossFit space is 20, a modest 2,500 square feet. So we have to be significantly more deliberate about our space and floors. So Pro Shop, not quite ready, but close.
Nice. If anyone would like to, is it valuable to talk a little bit about apparel? Is that a good place to make money, but we don't want to make mistakes, or you guys rather chat about something different?
I mean, that is a good place to make money, and I do make mistakes with both of those things.
Yeah, if that's valuable, I say we dive in. If anyone wants to take their time to ask a totally separate question, we can totally do that. But
did you say payroll?
Sorry, apparel. So like,
apparel. Okay, sorry.
Making money off of your own shirts. I know Zia and I talked a little bit about this last week with Paul as well. So we dive into it even more on that call. And then funny thing we were even saying is like similar to the having someone come out and sample protein or energy drinks, you can have them come out and sample clothing. Like you can call Lululemon and be like, come do a thing at our place, and you can be the shop that carries some Lululemon if that's your thing, or what is it, Vuori or other ones?
Vuori.
Yeah, so like do what you think will sell and get in contact with those companies. But I'll hand it to Zia to maybe kick that off, talking about apparel orders or sales.
We sell a ton of apparel because we're a tourist destination. So we have that going for us. And I do think I'm terrible at picking apparel. Like as far as sometimes selling it, like my last order that I made for the girls, none of the girls that come to my gym liked it. I'm selling it anyway because I sell it to the tourists, but like it's such good. I mean, I get my shirts for like $6 landed a piece, and you sell them for $25-30. So you can make really good money off of it. You just need to make sure that you know what people are going to buy, and pre-sales are good for that. If you have a smaller gym and you don't want to get stuck with stuff, pre-sales are really good. And then I've partnered with Vuori a couple of times. I have a wholesale account with them where I get their stuff and print my logo on their stuff, which is great. They just have to approve it. And that's a higher dollar, thing that you can sell. You don't quite make as much, but or percentage wise, but it's a higher dollar item, which is great. But yeah, I mess that up sometimes.
Pro Shop, I think too, to show that kind of stuff. And people, sometimes they're in the mood to shop, like a lot of these smaller places, Pilates studios, yoga, cycling, they have tons of high-end clothing on like the nice wooden hangers. And it's a really cool look. I got to drop into a gym up in Seattle and they were doing the same thing. I felt like I was in like a corner of a Lululemon store, the way they had all their high-end stuff displayed. And I mean, so I was like, yeah, why not us, right? Why can't we get in on that as well? Like you said, it might not always be the the bigger margin. But if you're getting them used to wearing your branded stuff, then you know, the next thing you print, maybe they want.
We do tie-dye parties once a year. We've been doing it for like 5 or 6 years now. And give them a white shirt with our logo on it, and then they get to tie-dye it. And it's, you know, $25, and it's an event, and it's super fun. And then I will tie-dye, I'll buy extras and just tie-dye our shirts, and I'll sell them. And then the tourists that come in the summer love a good, you know, oh, Southern California tie-dye shirt. So I do that.
Give the people what they want.
Hoodies are really good too, but I pre-sale those.
Which ones?
Hoodies.
Hoodies, nice. Other questions about apparel or things you have done that were super successful with that?
Does anyone do an online, or like, was that Fully Amped? Any of those kind of product?
I don't use them.
I'm not familiar with Fully Amped, but we do pre-sale, kind of like what Zia was mentioning. And then usually after the pre-sale, it will end up on our online store that's direct to print. They'll print one-offs. The margin's significantly smaller, but then you don't have to keep it in stock.
That's what Fully Amped does.
But
Fully Amped is owned by the old Life is Prescribed owners.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So they'll even
is.
do design for you if you would like. You know, they'll kind of be your one-stop shop if you need that. Obviously, a lot of people have their like local vendors, so they don't necessarily need that. But something to keep in mind if you are limited on space and need that. Online it sounds so good until you realize people want it right there, right now, right? And then doesn't do as good. Also, keeping in mind if you are a spot where people do drop-ins, they're going to want the shirt right then. You know, Zia's talking about her being like a destination spot, but just any amount of drop-ins, I feel like that's what a lot of people want to take home from their trip, is they want a shirt from the gym they dropped in it. So having something for them, I think, could be great. I know Paul, when we were talking last week, Zia made a good point. He does a lot of apparel sales, and he talked about how, you know, you buy a t-shirt, one color, one cut for the guys, and then for the girls, you need 8 different cuts in, you know, 5 different colors, because that's just what they want. You know, this one wants it long and flowy, this one wants it cropped, this one wants it racer back, whatever. And so just
I miss the mark all the time on the women. I do. I really, really do.
Yeah. So knows if, I mean, maybe get like a Bella or somebody to send some plain cuts and just get like the consensus of favorite styles and cuts before you guys go into print mode. But something that Paul recommended is to have your coaches wearing your products, which sounds obvious, right? You know, you go into Lululemon, everyone's wearing Lululemon, but not every gym enforces a dress code, but he has a lot of kind of custom look. It's not just logos, it's also like, you know, silly designs or funny phrases or references to different things. And so the best way they sell is when he has his coaches wearing them. They also have created like, you know, like it's Red Shirt Friday. And so everyone wants to wear a red shirt on Friday, and then he has red shirts. So they all buy the red shirt with the design. Or it's handstand push-up day, and he's got a shirt about handstand push-ups. So everyone wants to wear their handstand push-up shirt. So thinking about things like that, like if there is something that's like your guys' thing, you know, like making a shirt and then people, and make it a thing, like everyone wear your shirt tomorrow, you know, the more those traditions start happening, for him at least, he said he's had a lot of success with that. Ren, were you going to add something about clothing or apparel?
Yeah, but I can't remember.
Sorry.
I will say, like, I have a wholesale account with LSKD. So that's another good one you guys could do. And they give 35% off to your coaches, 20% off to members. Viore doesn't do wholesale anymore. I tried doing that with Viore.
They technically never did.
Ooh.
You and Joe got it too.
Okay, well, so I'm in Encinitas, and they are big on the Encinitas grown, Encinitas this, like everything local Encinitas. I'm in Encinitas, so that's why they're always partnering with us. That's why they're always doing this. And so with them, I just basically beat them down until they were like, okay, fine. And they've never done a wholesale. You just have to really be the squeaky wheel, especially with them. I can get you guys know the same girl. It's her. I just really just wore her down. Her or Abby at Viore.
Swear her down.
You gotta ask 1,000 times. Fine.
Ren, what was the company you said that you did wholesale with?
We're starting with LSKD.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Very
I
cool.
remember what I was going to say. So we print extra shirts and we throw those in our goodie bags too, because we want everyone to be repping the brand.
In the
And
welcome
it's a
packet?
good way. It's a good way for me to get rid of the ones that no one wants to buy as well.
Here's your shirt.
Yeah. Zia, I would say real quick question. I have to jump off, but later I want to connect with you about negotiations because I just got a massive fee
for your parking. Yes, fight that.
Yeah,
I will help you.
Okay, I'll reach out.
No problem if you have to hop off. I'll wrap it up here unless anyone else had anything else they wanted to talk about or ask. I don't want to cut anyone off. I'll send a little follow-up email to everyone and feel free to respond if there was additional questions that didn't get answered. Apologies if we kind of cut through things. Something else I didn't get into, but I think is cool is things like subleasing. When is your space not being used and who can use it? Get creative, and we can talk about different ways to do that. So if anyone wants to chime in or add things like that, let me know. Again, I'm going to keep doing calls like this that you all can come in on, and I'm going to do other ones on the side that I record and put up. So go on the West Coast Affiliates, CrossFit West Coast Affiliates YouTube page, and I will be posting up there soon the one with Zia and Paul talking about reducing your credit card fees and reducing a bunch of other places to lose money, even renegotiating things with your lease. I mean, she had all the ideas. So stop paying so much money right now.
Before we go, I wanted to, you mentioned something earlier. I sublease not to Naked Yoga, but powerlifting and a Pilates studio.
Nice.
I also, that's the other 2,500 square feet of my full 5,000 square foot facility. I also do, I think I mentioned it, but we're doing Olympic weightlifting meet in July, which has its entry. And we also did a 8-week program to build up to that with 2 or 3 extra days of programming with an extra class during the weekends.
Yeah.
So specialty challenges, we do like we're going to do a running challenge in July where if everyone meets, I forget the exact distance, but it's like a $5 entry thing just so we can offset some of the cost of the shirts. And everyone who finishes 30,000 meters for the month of July gets a Run Forest Run like branded shirt, things like that. So those are really easy. I'm not super keen on working super hard for minimal return. So I'm looking for easy little low-hanging fruits. And those were really, really easy to add a little extra income.
For sure. Danny just chatted or put in the chat, where is your pro shop located? I was actually going to take that one step further, Danny. And I feel like I am totally dropping the ball on our West Coast Instagram page as I'm trying to keep other balls in the air. And I think a really cool ask would be like, hey, show me your pro shop. And anyone that sends me a short little story or a picture, and I just repost them all. And you guys can get like kind of inspiration, and it doesn't have to be big. It could be sweet and small and just like aesthetically pleasing. And people are going to want to shop there. But yeah, if anyone wanted to be like, oh yeah, ours is, lobby, back corner, front desk. Like, I don't know if anyone has like a quick answer, but would that be cool? Like if I got a bunch of people to.
Yeah, I always get like, there's the affiliate page on Facebook. Sometimes people will be like, post your stuff. I love looking at other gyms.
Yeah, everyone wants to look. Right?
Yeah. When I used to travel with CrossFit weightlifting seminar stuff, I love doing that just to look at everybody's gyms. I got so many cool ideas of just
I take pictures like when I'm in a gym. I'm like,
pick a topic and say, post it. I love it. I have 2 pro shops. I'll take pictures of both of mine.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Also, Danny, I'm going to put that up on the Instagram page. I'm sure you follow it, and I'm just going to ask. And if you guys can be my first people, because then it'll be a trend if people see it. If like no one responds, then it'll be like, wah. But I might post a clip from this call so that people can hear kind of what we're talking about. And then I would love to see that. Another one that I always think is cool is like the coaches station, like up by the whiteboard. Do you have something to the side that's organized where, you keep your remote, your whiteboard pens or whatever, like, however you organize. I love seeing that stuff. I geek out on organization. So if you guys ever have questions about stuff like that, I don't know if I'm doing it at the best way possible. Ask me and I can ask everybody, and then we can start comparing more notes. Also, if you guys haven't already signed up to come to the affiliate gathering, we're doing one up in Portland. I know that's not close for you SoCal people, but use it as an excuse to get out of the heat and get up to Portland July 8th. Love to see all of you guys. And there'll be more of this, getting you guys into little pockets, talking to each other about different topics and sharing ideas. So would love to have you guys all there. Thank you all for sharing ideas and asking questions. And without further ado, I'll let you all get on with your day and hopefully talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Katie. See you guys.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye, guys.